One thing I actually forgot to talk about during my whole E3 video was the new Xbox, which, if you guys want my full emotions on it, I've gone to nicknaming this thing the Xbox One and a Half because sadly, it is more honest and more truthful than the Xbox One X, and let's be honest, that's a stupid name anyway. I honestly don't even understand, like, what Xbox is doing with their names at this point. I mean, like, when the Xbox One came out, I couldn't Google the original Xbox without getting images of the newest Xbox, but, you know. And if you think about it, 360 it pretty much just means that you're doing the same exact thing, right? Because 360 would be 360-degree angles, meaning you're just spinning all the way around back to the same exact spot that you were in, so maybe I'm overthinking it, maybe I'm not. So the big marketing strategy with this big hunk of shit is that it's the strongest console ever made, which, according to some research provided from the data that Microsoft actually personally gave us at E3, it would appear that that statement is actually true. Got all these Xbox fanboys saying that it's going to be able to match the heaviest PC out there, and while that's not necessarily true, there is no doubting that, yeah, this is going to be a pretty strong console, especially considering that most consoles today are pretty underpowered. Nintendo. Because of this sexy new technology that Microsoft is bragging about, they're going to push really hard for 4K, which, clearly, according to them, it's not even ready for, technically. But there is a fatal flaw to this whole 4K thing that also further proves that consoles simply aren't powerful enough yet, and they're probably not going to be for a long-ass time. So, it would appear that Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, the Xbox division of Microsoft, or whatever you want to call it, while he's totally pushing for 4K across every game on this singular console, he doesn't seem to care about a consistent frame rate. Now, recently I've been watching a lot of Bullet Berry, and if you don't know who that YouTuber is, please look him up. He is an excellent YouTuber. He has a lot of great opinions about things. He's a PC gamer, so if you're a little console fanboy, then just stray away from that. But he pretty much explains everything in the exact way that it should be explained. I can't remember the exact video where he breaks down exactly why frame rate is so damn important in everything gaming related. But honestly, sadly, there's a lot of people that don't understand that and probably won't even take his word for it. So, let me break it down like this. An indirect quote from Barry saying that he had a friend that played a lot of CSGO, but while playing CSGO, he had a hard time reacting to everything in the exact way that he could because he usually ran everything on ultra, just great settings. So he took to minimizing everything, putting everything on the lowest settings to pretty much boost the frame rate to over 300 and make everything just way smoother, and he had a pretty much perfect his gameplay improved. So it tends to anger me when I hear console fanboys once again saying that frame rate is okay to be low. And this statement could not be more ignorant or incorrect. It's a dumb statement that shouldn't have been said. You got idiots like Ubisoft arguing that 30 FPS just makes the game more cinematic, which is clearly bullshit. You're just a lazy fucking developer. Then we have the usual brain-dead argument that is, well, the human eye can't even see 60 FPS, so what's the issue? And sorry, bud, if you turned on a game right now and just turned on the graphics to, like, over ultra, which, let's say you were playing on a specific PC that would do exactly what I'm saying here, you put everything up on ultra, and it's running everything at about 30 frames. Or you put it down to about high or medium, to where it would boost it up to about 60 frames. Now, personally, I would say no to ultra, because it's just easier to play with a better frame rate. And visually, yes, there is a massive, massive difference between 30 and 60 FPS, so just saying that you can't see 60 FPS is kind of dumb. And if you say that you can't see it yourself, well, dude, you're lying. And it's these retarded statements like this and stupid fanboys, which is the exact reason why PC elitists exist. Because they see console players settling for so little and being completely okay with it, and even going beyond that and completely defending it soullessly. Just, it's really, really fucking stupid. And it's also been confirmed that games such as Destiny 2. Now, I'm not a Destiny fan. I despise that franchise completely. But that is a game with a lot going on at once, and relying on 30 FPS just isn't going to work. When you have these massive battles and the frame rate is dipping down into the tens, but the game looks pretty. No! Stop! And I know a lot of you might be saying, well, Ryan, what are they supposed to do? The console only has so much power. And that's exactly why I think it would have been more beneficial to Microsoft to just not try to make a console this powerful yet. Everyone was pretty pissed off when they found out that the Xbox One X was going to cost the same amount as the Xbox One back when it was originally coming out. A whole $500. Like, okay. And Xbox is claiming that this is because the hardware that they actually put inside of this new Xbox is really, really damn expensive and hard to manufacture. So you're making this really expensive hardware to charge us for a really overpriced console that is pretty much just an expanded version of one that we've already bought. Okay, well then how will it perform? Like total shit, obviously. We're gonna satisfy the graphics whores while also not being able to give them the ability to actually enjoy those graphics by giving them a sturdy frame rate. If you cut out a bunch of things for games, like, I don't know, basic charm, gameplay fidelity, the plot, just basic stuff that makes a game good, and you just focus on sheer power, everything revolves around the frame rate. And the fact that you're chopping it so that way you can just make the game look pretty and satisfy a bunch of retards, you just shouldn't have even pursued this project. The only reason this exists is to compete with the PS4 Pro. And honestly, you're just embarrassing yourself. You're just making it look like you're trying to go out and go against Sony again, only to ultimately fail. And I get the PlayStation is the Xbox's #1 competitor, but you also gotta realize they are simply better at making consoles. And what you also have to note is that while Sony is also really good at making consoles, the PS4 Pro was a failure. Just because you're making a console that has slightly more power than that one, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be doing... It doesn't mean that you're gonna be put ahead of them on the pedestal. You've already had tons of respect drained out of you just like they have. The Xbox One X is going to fail, and that's a fact.